Welcome back to FlyEaglesFly News, where every single moment counts for the Eagles and where we dive deep into the strategies, matchups, and developments that can define this season. Even though the holiday period slowed the pace of games, there is still a wealth of storylines to explore, and the Eagles sit right at the center of several of them. I spent yesterday analyzing formations, looking over player performance, and thinking critically about how we can approach the upcoming clash with the Bills in a way that maximizes our strengths, while testing the limits of their defense. One area that has drawn particular attention is the development of Jihad Campbell. He has had a season full of learning moments, and the question remains whether he can translate that experience into decisive, confident plays when the pressure is at its peak. His growth will be vital not only for this matchup, but also for the long-term trajectory of our defensive unit. Turning first to the games that took place over the holidays, there were moments of real intrigue despite the overall quieter schedule. The Cancun Bowl, featuring Washington and Dallas, was unexpectedly competitive. Washington, often overlooked, displayed real resilience and pushed Dallas to the edge, nearly pulling off a result that would have surprised many analysts. However, as the game wore on, the lack of firepower and depth became apparent, emphasizing once again how injuries and player fatigue can shape outcomes. Over the course of a season, both teams saw key contributors sidelined, a reminder that consistency is hard to maintain, especially when the physical toll of the season accumulates. Discussions online are already comparing offensive capabilities and debating hypothetical playoff performances. But history shows that performances under regular season conditions rarely predict how teams handle high-stakes pressure. A quarterback like Dak Prescott can dominate in routine matchups, but when defenses intensify and stakes rise, the cracks often begin to show. And the same logic applies across the league. Other matchups over the holiday period also provided insight into the state of competition. Kansas City faced Denver in a game that offered flashes of excitement but carried less urgency, since Kansas City was already out of playoff contention. Meanwhile, the Vikings displayed dominance over the Detroit Lions, cementing Detroit's absence from the playoff picture and further highlighting the contrast between teams still in contention and those already looking ahead to next year. Early eliminations have the potential to shift dynamics for teams still fighting for seeding and positioning, reminding fans that every game from this point forward carries weight. Momentum, confidence, and psychological readiness become increasingly crucial, and for teams like the Eagles, observing how opponents respond to pressure can inform preparation for the upcoming challenges. Focusing back on the Eagles, much of my attention has been devoted to offensive strategy, particularly in terms of adaptability and efficiency. One thing is clear: if the Eagles are serious about overcoming the Bills, Jalen Hurts must see more time under center. His presence in this role allows for a varied, offensive approach that keeps defenses guessing by integrating the running game more effectively, leveraging the versatility of Tank Spee, and ensuring that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are consistently involved. The team can create mismatches that force the opposition to adjust on every snap. Reflecting on our previous performance against Washington, the under-center approach demonstrated its potential. The flow of the offense, the combination of play action with a strong running presence, and Saquon Barkley's decisive contributions all contributed to drives that gained yardage efficiently and turned opportunities into points. Those 10 plays offered a microcosm of what is possible when preparation meets execution, and it provides a roadmap for taking on a more challenging opponent like the Bills. The Bills, however, present a fundamentally different challenge. Their defensive discipline and capacity to disrupt both the run and pass demand precise execution. Josh Allen continues to be a dual-threat quarterback capable of changing the game with either arm or legs, while complementary weapons like James Cook offer additional layers of danger. Limiting their effectiveness requires a defense that can react instantly, maintain gap discipline, and execute with confidence. Jihad Campbell's rookie season provides both a narrative and a lens through which to view these challenges. While he has shown moments of promise, the speed of the NFL and the complexity of high-level defensive reads have tested his instincts. Missteps in alignment or hesitation against a running play can create critical opportunities for opponents, and Campbell's development hinges on transforming learning experiences into assured, aggressive, and decisive actions. Observers often compare him to Nico Dean, whose veteran experience allows for near-instinctive responses to evolving plays. Highlighting the gap between raw talent and refined execution, Campbell's progression is being scrutinized And this game represents a moment for him to demonstrate the maturity and judgment required at this level. Preparation, both mental and physical, is crucial for young players like Campbell. But it is equally important for the team as a whole. Offensive versatility, maintaining unpredictability in formation, and integrating key players effectively define the approach that can disrupt the Bills' rhythm. Jalen Hurts' ability to adjust under pressure, recognize defensive tendencies, and execute with precision will be instrumental, equally. Ensuring that Saquon Barkley's running exploits create opportunities for the passing game is central to a balanced offensive attack. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown provide the necessary stretch to pull defenders out of position, giving the run game more room to operate and opening up space for explosive plays. The coordination between quarterbacks, receivers, and blockers has improved over the season, and the 10 snaps against Washington offer a template for efficiency, fluidity, and situational awareness. Defensively, the stakes could not be higher, containing the run, preventing explosive gains, and applying pressure on Josh Allen without overcommitting are key components of success. Campbell's ability to trust his preparation, make split-second decisions, and execute tackles cleanly will be tested continuously. James Cook's agility and vision present a particular challenge, requiring defenders to be disciplined in their pursuit and rapid in reaction. Every assignment, from defensive line positioning to secondary coverage, must be executed with exacting precision to prevent game-altering plays. The Eagles' approach hinges on discipline, mental fortitude, and adaptability, qualities that define a team capable of competing at the highest level. Every snap, every read, and every adjustment carries significance, and preparation off the field directly translates into performance on it. As the Eagles look toward this upcoming matchup, strategic planning, attention to detail, and situational awareness define the preparation process. Balancing immediate performance with long-term goals is critical, and decisions regarding player rotation, rest, and positioning reflect a commitment to sustain competitiveness. Jalen Carter's return strengthens the defensive front, providing reliability and depth, while strategic rest for key veterans like Lane Johnson ensures that the team is prepared for the demands of postseason play. The combination of experienced leadership, growing young talent, and detailed strategic execution underlines the complexity of maintaining balance while aiming for maximum performance in high-pressure situations. Every decision, from personnel to play calling, impacts the rhythm of the game and can define the margin between victory and defeat. As we move deeper into the season, the focus on execution intensifies. The Eagles' preparation has been meticulous, with film study, drills, and situational simulations designed to ensure that every player understands not only their role, but also the tendencies and patterns of the opposition. Facing a team like the Bills requires more than raw talent. It demands strategic anticipation, rapid adjustments, and mental resilience. The defensive backs need to recognize route combinations instantly. The linebackers must read blocking schemes in a split second, and the defensive line has to maintain gap integrity while reading the quarterback's intentions. Every snap is a microcosm of larger strategic battles, and success will depend on the ability of the team to operate cohesively, trusting instincts that are honed through preparation, yet flexible enough to adapt to in-game realities. On the offensive side, the Eagles are refining their approach to integrate complexity with clarity. Jalen Hurts' command of the under-center formations is crucial, but it is equally important to balance this with effective shotgun snaps to counter defensive pressure and create mismatches. The running game remains the backbone, with Saquon Barkley tasked with exploiting gaps and forcing defenders into uncomfortable decisions. Tank B's adaptability provides the offense with multiple layers of options, creating uncertainty in the defensive alignment and opening opportunities for high-reward plays. Meanwhile, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are the essential stretch threats. Their precision route running pulling defenders out of position and enabling both ground and aerial strategies to function in harmony. The interplay between these elements ensures that the offense is not just effective but unpredictable, capable of sustaining drives, controlling the clock, and generating explosive moments that can shift momentum instantly. Facing the Bills' defense requires precision in both timing and execution. Their linebackers are disciplined, their secondary fast and reactive, and any miscalculation in spacing or timing can result in lost yardage or turnovers. The Eagles must continue integrating pre-snap motion, misdirection plays, and play-action fakes to force hesitation and disrupt the defensive rhythm. Each player's awareness of spacing, timing, and defensive cues contributes to the success of each series. Mistakes are magnified at this level. A misread can lead to a stopped drive or, worse, a scoring opportunity for the opposition. The challenge is maintaining composure while executing plays that demand both physical excellence and mental acuity, balancing aggression with caution to keep the offense moving while avoiding unnecessary risk. Defensively, the role of Jihad Campbell and the young linebacking core is under a spotlight. Campbell's ability to react quickly, fill gaps decisively, and maintain leverage against runners like James Cook is central to limiting the Bills' ground attack. He has shown progress over the course of the season, gradually converting lessons from practice and film into tangible performance. But facing a high-caliber offense tests every aspect of that. Development, reading blocking schemes, anticipating play action, and making correct reads without hesitation is a skill honed over time. And this game serves as both a challenge and an opportunity to demonstrate growth. The coordination between defensive line, linebackers, and secondary must be precise, with each player trusting both their instincts and their preparation to respond in real time to the evolving offensive patterns of a versatile opponent. Special teams, often overlooked by casual observers, also carry strategic importance in a matchup of this magnitude. Field position can dictate the momentum of a game, and a well-timed kickoff return or precise coverage can alter the landscape of a drive. Punting, kickoffs, and situational returns are all integral to maintaining advantage, especially in a game where both offenses are capable of quick scoring. The execution of these plays, though subtle, demonstrates the Eagles' commitment to excellence across all phases, and highlights the importance of preparation, focus, and execution even when the spotlight is primarily on offensive and defensive units. The cumulative impact of special teams often becomes apparent in critical moments, when inches and seconds can determine possession and influence scoring opportunities. Psychological readiness is equally important. Playing against a team that has consistently succeeded deep into January over multiple seasons demands focus and poise. The young player's ability to control emotions, maintain situational awareness, and stay disciplined under stress will shape the trajectory of the game. Every decision, from alignment adjustments to pre-snap recognition, requires mental clarity and confidence. Veterans provide guidance, modeling patience and composure while setting a standard of execution that younger teammates can emulate. The mental toughness of the team, its ability to respond to adversity, and its resilience in the face of high-pressure situations are all factors that can influence the outcome as much as physical skill. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. What only hours ago sounded like pure fantasy is now being whispered across the league with increasing conviction. Sources close to multiple front offices insist that a major trade framework between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tennessee Titans is no longer theoretical. It is being described as real, active, and driven by a level of aggression that once again places Howie Roseman at the center of the NFL conversation. Around the league, executives are framing this potential exchange less as a simple roster adjustment and more as a statement. Philadelphia, already viewed as a franchise unafraid of bold moves, appears willing to leverage future assets and financial flexibility to reshape a key position group. Tennessee, on the other hand, is rumored to be reassessing its competitive window, listening more openly than expected and exploring ways to reset parts of its core without fully committing to a rebuild. What makes the speculation louder is the reported alignment of motivations. The Eagles are believed to be targeting a proven, physically dominant presence that fits their identity of trench control and schematic versatility. The Titans, meanwhile, are said to be prioritizing draft capital and younger, controllable talent, a shift that suggests long-term planning over short-term stability. Several insiders hint that conversations accelerated after recent internal evaluations on both sides, with Roseman pushing hard and refusing to let negotiations stall. Inside league circles, the surprise is not that Philadelphia is involved, but how decisively it has moved. Rival teams reportedly felt caught off guard, assuming the Titans would wait longer before entertaining serious offers. Instead, momentum built quietly away from public view, fueling the sense that this deal has been in motion longer than anyone realized. Until contracts are signed and jerseys swapped, everything remains officially unconfirmed. Still, the tone around the league has changed. This no longer feels like idle chatter. It feels like the kind of calculated gamble that has defined recent Eagles history, and one that could ripple through both conferences long after the initial shock fades. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.